Okay, so this is the day after I beat Sonic Frontiers as the time of this recording, and I have a few thoughts to share. So I'm gonna do like I did with that Gala High School video. I'm gonna switch it into sections. First off, we're gonna talk about gameplay, we're gonna talk about the story and character writing, and then my overall thoughts on it. Before we do that though, if you do like this, maybe you should go check out the streams. They should be here on the channel right here, as well as like and subscribe. Now with all that said, let's get straight into the video with the gameplay. Gameplay wise, kind of a mixed bag for me. I actually did like the open world exploration part of the game. There were a few things with it that I didn't like. First level of Kronos Island felt really barren. There was still something to do in there, don't get me wrong. Like, there really was. I didn't like some of the sections at first. The controls feel fine. Sonic controls fine. Everything about him controls fine. Except in the air. Unlike a lot of the Sonic games before, you have very little movement over Sonic in the air. You can double jump once and that's about it. And it makes him feel less mobile than he usually does. But on the ground, he feels fine. I like the max boost mechanic with the rings. I like that you can level up different aspects like his attack and defense. But I don't really feel like the defense really did anything for me. It got better as the game went on, except for the fourth stage. But I'm trying to keep this review as less spoilery for that as possible. If you're watching this now, the story part's gonna be full of spoilers. There's the cyberspace things. I have mixed bags on that too. Sometimes the physics in those stages, they feel weird, especially on the rail grinding parts, or if it switches from a certain camera angle to another. For like a split second, you lose control of what the fuck. The game has to figure out what the fuck you're trying to do. You can die a lot because of it. For the most part, I'm a mixed bag with the cyber stages. They're fine. They're not intrusive really. I do like half of them. The other half I don't really care for. The combat actually is kind of nice as you level it up, which makes sense, obviously. Starting out, all you really have is the homing attack and a few basic attacks, but as you level up, one of the first abilities you can get is Sonic Boom, which is pretty broken early game because it shreds through a lot of the enemy's health. As you get more skills, you can link up and make a whole bunch of combos. I definitely went the more combo route first, I think, in my opinion, and I feel like that I've had a better experience with combat because of that. I had a lot of that early on. The difficulty of the game, for my playthrough, I went through hard mode, and I had pretty much everything at max for the most things. I didn't turn on any. I messed with the speed set in the first because I felt like that wouldn't be fair. It really didn't give me much of a challenge except for certain situations. Even the boss fights aren't really that challenging, which, by the way, the boss fights are fucking amazing. I feel like it's kind of breezed through most of the story. Still had fun, but I would have liked a more challenging experience. Boss fights were amazing, bro. My favorite is definitely the Wyvern boss fight. I feel like they really went all out with that one. Supreme boss fight, kind of mid. And then there's the final boss. It was just a bullet hell, which it's okay if people like those type of things. I played Undertale, so I do kind of like those. It wasn't the ending I was expecting for the final boss. Now that the gameplay and everything else is out the way, let's move on to the character writing. First thing out the gate, the character writing in this game is fucking incredible. This is the first time in the series since Sonic Unleashed that I feel like pretty much all the cast are written right. Sonic feels on point. He has that slightly cocky, his usual attitude, but there's that air of seriousness about him that was very potent in Black Knight, and it shows his comparing and his willing to put others before himself that were shown throughout the whole game. He really just felt like Sonic to me. Amy wasn't annoying for the first time in fucking forever. Holy Christ. That she would become somebody that Sonic would have to respect and look at her as her own person. It feels like she's actually moving towards that path now. I like her little mini arc, and her conversations and interactions with Sonic are phenomenal. Knuckles is not written like a dunce. He shows a little gullible side of him, but he has his usual Knuckles attitude that he's had since Sonic 3, and it really felt nice and refreshing to see him and Sonic's rivalry actually be brought back up, which I don't mind them being buddy-buddy, but y'all gotta remember, these two still have very different personalities, but even when things are said and done, they're still friends and they know this. And then there's Tails, the biggest elephant in the room. Tails, who hasn't been written right, especially since I love Sonic Unleashed, but Tails was not written very well to me in Sonic Unleashed at all. He still has had his moment. He's still up for himself, and he knows, and Sonic knows that Tails has him. Tails even tells Sonic that after this, he'll take some time off to himself and work on himself, really. So I give the character writing here like a huge 10 out of 10. They feel right, everything's done right. Even Eggman's done right too. And usually most people look at Eggman and see like, oh, standard bad guy. But we all know Eggman's not really that. Okay, well, he did like split the earth in like multiple pieces, shot the moon, threatened to take over society, at least the water god. He's done a lot of bad things, but like he still has a human side to him. Character writing is 10 out of 10. and let's move on to the story. I'm gonna say it's mostly around the Chaos Emeralds and how they came to be. The story was actually pretty good. It wasn't the greatest, but it's definitely been better than the shit we've gotten so far, bro. Written by Ian Flynn and a couple of writers, and I feel like it's a good step in the right direction. And I'm gonna put a little spoiler warning here because I'm gonna say this one section I really like. There's a little time step to where you skip forward. I like how they talk about the Chaos Emeralds are from another planet, basically, with this other society who look a lot like Chaos. They were only attracted to the planet where Sonic and everybody is because the Master Emerald's there. They don't explain how the Master Emerald has a connection to the Chaos Emeralds on another planet. Whatever. They talk about having a separate squad in case things go wrong for them. Again, it does end up happening, obviously. They'll have a separate squad take the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald and go off someplace safe, which that ties in with Sonic Adventure and the Echidna tribe. So that's a pretty cool call out and connection. This story brings in so many other connections. It makes it feel like they're finally getting back to realizing that Sonic's not just a whole bunch of one-off games, but a whole expanding universe with a whole expanding lore. I hope they keep on to that. So please do that. Sega. And now we're gonna switch to my overall thoughts of the game because I'm seeing all my praises here, but I gotta talk about something. So overall rating of the game, I think I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 for a Sonic game and I'd say 5 to 6 out of 10 for a actual game. It is a bit janky. There are some things that are kind of unfinished, so like the animations feel a little sometimes. Some animations not really doing much with a lot of movement. Like I mentioned, the physics and the momentum could use a bit more work, but overall I think this game was good and I think it is a good step in the right direction for the Sonic franchise. Now if they can take the feedback from this, positive and negative, improve on it, I think we're gonna get back to when Sonic was in its heyday, and I really do hope that because I love it. I love Sonic and I always will. So with all that said, thank y'all for watching this video. Check out the streams, please do. I had a lot of fun. But thank y'all, and next recording we're going to be doing is on Bendy and Ink Machine, which at the time of this recording is going to be 2 days from now. So I don't know when this video is going to release, but just know I will be playing Bendy and Ink Machine. So see y'all there. Peace out.